Welcome to Muskegon Rotary. I'm Jason Pisecki. Before we get our meeting started, I wanted to take a moment to recognize a Rotarian who left us last week. Orville Crane passed away unexpectedly on Friday, and I think it was fitting for Orville that one of the last things he did was to attend a Rotary Membership Committee meeting. And Orville had a love for our club, and my last interaction with him at Frank Peterson and Jeff Lewis's farewell party was talking about DEI and pointing around to the room and saying, look at all these other people that should be Rotarians. There'll be a visitation on Saturday at Seitzema's Lee Chapel, and the visitation will start at noon and the service will be at 2 p.m. So please just take a moment and recognize and remember Orville and think of Susan right now. All right, Orville, you will be missed. Hey, we have a great program today. We're going to learn about a new park in Muskegon County, right in my backyard in Norton Shores. We'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a reflection from Tom Palmer. Student guest from North Muskegon will induct a new Rotarian, and we have a couple special awards. And then we'll recite the four-way test at the end of the meeting. So let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, please remain standing for the reflection while Tom makes his way up here.
I should have sat closer. Have a nice day. It's something we hear all the time. And one thing about have a nice day is it's a passive thing. It's like let life find you and hope it goes well for you. But as Rotarians, we are not ordinary people. I would say we're not normal, but a few of us are not normal. But we're not ordinary. You know, we get after it. We're here because we want to serve. And so I'm encouraging you to not have a nice day, but to make it a great day. That puts it on you. That puts it on me. And it's decisions we make every day, and we can make it a great day by helping someone out simply, holding a door for someone, interacting with someone that looks like they're having a down day, and we can make it a great day that way. And I encourage you to do that. It's just a perspective thing, and that's something I try and practice. I don't always, but I try to. I'd also like to have a short prayer for Susan and reflecting on Orville. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you now. We thank you for the experience we had with Orville and many of us for a long time. And thank you for his wonderful attitude of service and always looking out for others. Father, be with Susan and the family as they mourn his loss, and be with us as we mourn his loss as well. Please continue with us now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Tom. You may be seated, and we'll enjoy lunch and some fellowship, and we'll be back in a few minutes with visiting Rotarians and our student guests. To our visiting Rotarians and guests, don't make me ring the bell again. Ding, ding. That was from Rocky II. Someone left a very stylish pair of sunglasses out front. If you want to come pick them up and walk in front of the club and let everyone know you lost your sunglasses, they'll be right here. Otherwise, they'll be at the front after the meeting. Okay, visiting Rotarians and guests and student guests. Julia, Melissa, Claire, Annette, if you can make your way up with your guests. And Marty with the student guests. Maggie will hand you the mic. Rotarian, all you have to do is introduce our visitors. All right, looks like Melissa's going to be first.
Yep. You got to just see yourself right there. Oh, lovely.
Back a little. Back.
Got it? Okay.
All right, everyone, I'm going to use my teacher voice. Attention at the front. That's a clap three. I don't know that.
Good afternoon. I'm Melissa Moore from Reed Muskegon, and my guest today is Amy Olthoff, who is a Reed Muskegon board member and also an officer of the Greater Muskegon Service League. Oh, yeah, on the board, excuse me, of the Greater Muskegon Service League. So, welcome, Amy.
Hello, I'm Claire Root Benson with the Poppin Programs, and this is a student of mine, Bryce Thompson. He's also our treasurer for the new Muskegon High School Interact Club, and we are supporting him to go to the Life Leadership Conference next month.
My name is Andrew Cutler, and this is my new acquaintance, Brent Kowalski from J. Galt Financial Suite. They do business services and help people build business credit, that's right. No, it's actually pretty cool.
Annette Jack, and I have with me today my husband, John.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. I'm going to keep sliding over. Right here. Okay. Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. This will be my last Rotary meeting as I'm getting ready to retire from education in Michigan. So I want to just take a quick moment to say thank you, because many of you in the audience have done a ton to help me personally as a Rotarian, as an Interact advisor, and you've invested a tremendous amount in the students, the Interactors at North Muskegon. I have 3 of them I'll introduce to you briefly here today as we get ready to close. Mr. Lindquist, thank you for everything. Mr. Noling, I could never thank you enough for your tons of energy that you've poured into our students and into myself personally. Mr. Byard, on behalf of all our administrators, without your administrative support, our program and our opportunities would not exist. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. I just want to introduce these young ladies to you and highlight one thing they did this year, and then Gabriella, our president, will say goodbye to as well as she gets ready to depart for college. So we have Audrey Winget here. She is a 7th grader. But once you work with her for a while, it seems like you're working with about a 17 or 18-year-old. Fantastic young lady. And she was a huge part of our food drive where we collected over 7,000 food items for the Mission for Area people earlier this year. So Audrey Winget. Megan Hausman is a senior at North Muskegon. She's a all-state caliber softball player and power lifter. And speaking of powerlifting, she personally took under her wings this year what we call the Norse Cares program, where every once in a while life happens. We had some students facing the challenge of cancer this year at our school, and she personally took that challenge to help support those families with gas cards and gift cards for food and help fill the void where that challenge was. And I'm forever grateful for her efforts, and she did a tremendous job, Megan Hausman. Gabriella Wingard is a superstar, student, athlete. You're going to hear about her in the future, and I will simply say this about her. Our program at the high school level, our club, really probably just quite frankly wouldn't have happened this year without her commitment during a COVID year to communicate with her classmates and be committed to service above self. So I'm just going to let her say goodbye to you, and thank you very much.
Well, first, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Slocum for everything he's done for me personally on a mentorship level and everything for our club, because we did get hit pretty hard with COVID, and coming back from that was a huge struggle, but he made it all possible to the point where we were able to go above and beyond what we have in years previously. So I would just like to say thank you, and thank you to everyone here for all the opportunities I've been given, and I'm looking forward to using them in my future.
job. Thank you.
Are we on? Yeah. Hey, everybody, I'm Bruce Spoolman. I am not the guest, even though some of you might have seen me for a while. This is Gabe Gerlach. You might recognize her as a previous presenter when we talked about the Child Care Center, and from the Muskegon YMCA. And she remains as executive director of that center and a very valued associate. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Julia Rupp, and I brought today with me my brother, Jonathan Featheringill, who's visiting from Illinois.
Good afternoon, Rotary. Moment of sadness. The school year is almost over. This is why they're not smiling. So these are the last students we're going to have until the fall, so yell loud because North Muskegon is in the house! To introduce two more of their seniors is Ken Byard. He is the principal at the high school.
Thanks, Marty. Go Norse, that's right. For the record, if you want seniors to show up to stuff, provide food. Otherwise, I haven't seen them. So it's my privilege to introduce to you two of our outstanding Norsemen. One is a personal favorite of mine, Adam. I'm sorry. This is my daughter, Whitney, and she's going to tell you about her.
Thanks. My name's Whitney. I am the executive secretary of the Student Council. I'm on the, I'm a leader of the environmental club. I started a recycling program this year that I'm pretty proud of. I'm in NHS, and I'm part of Megan's Norse Cares program as well. I'm a captain on the track team this year, and I'm having so much fun with it. I love track so much. And yeah, I'm going to Michigan State next year for public relations and sustainability, so go green. And this is Adam Batch.
Hi, I am Adam Batch. I'm also a senior at North Muskegon. I'm in way too many things to count, but some notable things are I'm on choir council and theater council. Don't hold it against me, but I am planning on going to MCC with the Muskegon Promise next year.
All right, on to our program. Tim Arter will introduce our speaker today.
Thank you, Jason. If Kim and Bob could come forward, I'll make a couple comments. Bio for Kim Karn. Kim Karn is the executive director of the Land Conservancy of West Michigan. Kim moved to West Michigan in 2019 as the Conservancy's development director. Then she stepped in up to lead the organization in 2021. She was born and raised in Colorado, spends a lot of time outdoors as that's her passion. Kim is thrilled to work in land protection and preserve our treasured natural lands, and most times you'll find her outside enjoying not only the weather but the sights. And then, as all of you know, Bob Lukens, heavily participated in the Dunes Park program. That is the provision of the new site, and so we've asked him to participate in the program. So I'll turn it over to Kim and to Bob, and we'll go forward with it.
Hello, everyone. Is that a little better? All right. Well, thank you for having us today. We're excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our organization. I'll get my PowerPoint queued up here, and then I'll turn it over to Bob to tell you about Dune Harbor Park, Muskegon County. So the Land Conservancy of West Michigan has been around for 45 years. We started in 1976 with a scrappy group of volunteers who were passionate about the outdoors and wanted to work in environmental causes. In the 90s, we became a nonprofit organization and started hiring full-time staff. I'm gonna grab my water here, I'm a little dry. So in the beginning, it was a totally scrappy organization, and then we started hiring employees, and now we have 10 full-time employees, along with some interns, as well as seasonal staff that help with field season. Our mission at the Land Conservancy is to keep nature nearby, and we work to help people protect, enjoy, and care for natural land in West Michigan. We are the only accredited land trust in our service area. And we serve 8 counties, all the way from Allegan in the south up to Ludington in Mason County, and then over to the eastern parts of Kent County. So we have 18 nature preserves that we own and manage that are open to the public for quiet enjoyment. And then a couple other stats to keep in mind. We've protected over 12,000 acres, and that includes 78 miles of shoreline. So there's a lot of reasons why we do what we do. I'll talk about a couple of them today. Urban development, as you know, Grand Rapids is a growing city. I moved here because of the natural beauty of the area. It's a great place to raise a family. It continually makes all the best places to live lists. So the last time I checked statistics, there is a population in the metro area of just over 1 million people, and it's growing around 4% a year. The pandemic might have changed that. I kind of doubt it. It's a good place to live, and so we need to protect our beautiful natural areas for future generations. And that's a passion of mine, to ensure that all people have access to the outdoors and all the benefits that come along with spending time in nature. Another thing that we're working on is environmental degradation. If you protect land, it protects water, and everyone knows that this is a very special region for water. 80% of the world's surface fresh water can be found in the Great Lakes, and that provides drinking water to over 48 million people. That's huge, and we have to protect that. People are relying upon us to protect natural land, which then again protects water. Another thing that we're working on, and I just heard that it's also a mission of the Rotarians, is to work on combating climate change and extreme climate events. Whether you believe that's man-made or not, you have to admit that the extreme weather events are happening more often. So the Land Conservancy works to make ecosystems more resilient in the face of extreme climate events. This right here is a model that I borrowed from NASA that shows how the climate is getting warmer over time. So that's another way that we work to protect natural land. So there's a couple different ways that we work to protect natural land in West Michigan, and the first is through private partnerships. We work with families and landowners to protect their properties. It is a partnership where we maintain the natural characteristics of the land, but it remains in private ownership. Another way that we work to protect land is through nature preserves. So again, we have 18 throughout our 8-county service region, and you can visit them. They're open to the public for quiet enjoyment, fishing, hiking, and all kinds of different things. So I have some maps that I'll leave behind if you're interested in learning more about our nature preserves. And then finally, we have community partnerships, which we call community conservation quite often. And Dune Harbor Park is one of those. It's a really special project. It's gorgeous. If you haven't been out there, I highly recommend it. It's an oasis, and it seems like you're so far away from the city when in fact you're just over the dune. So I'm going to turn it over to Bob Lukens to tell you a little bit more about that property.
Thanks, Kim, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful day in Muskegon County, isn't it? Just look out there. It's a tourism day today. There's no ships stuck in the channel. The boats are out, though, so it's going to be a great day and a great season. I'm going to talk a little bit about our newest park, the newest county park. Dune Harbor Park, Muskegon County is the full name of the property. And I'll show you a few slides and give you a little bit of background information on it. And I can't see exactly what it says there, but I'll make do. We have opened, well, let me start at the beginning. We were approached probably 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. Okay. Maybe 3 years ago to, with the opportunity to purchase this property or begin the discovery of this property. The total site is 377 acres, and we looked at that from the county's perspective and from the county parks perspective, and decided that it would be a really worthwhile project. The park is located totally in the city of Norton Shores. It has Lake Michigan frontage. It's just a beautiful property, as Kim said. And the decision was made to go ahead and attempt to, purchase the property and make it into a passive, I call it passive recreation. What do you call it?
Quiet recreation.
Quiet recreation. Passive recreation doesn't really sound right, but anyway, quiet enjoyment type of park. There is fishing allowed at the property in the lakes, and also kayaking in the future. So there are plenty of passive recreational opportunities out there. As time progressed, we made a recommendation, or we made a grant application to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund. And the revenues that make up the trust fund are from oil and natural gas leases that the state enters into with companies that go into a large pot of funding that is available for large land purchases like this and other improvements to state parks and other parks across the state. So we were very fortunate to be able to apply for and receive a grant, but the trust fund asked that we split it into two different grant applications, one for the South Lake portion of the Nugent Sand property and the other for the North Lake portion. So after discussing this idea more with the family, the Chandonnet family made a huge land donation for the park. Total cost was $15 million, and we received $10 million in DNR funding. So the Chandonnet family, Bob Chandonnet and his two daughters, were very instrumental in helping this park along. We were able to get the first grant, and that was awarded in December of last year, officially awarded then. And we closed on the property in December. So the South Lake portion of the Dune Harbor Park property is open now. There's a 2.3-mile trail that goes around the inside of it. There's a large inland lake. Bald eagles frequent the area. Let's see, what else? Fox. All types of flora and fauna are available out there for your enjoyment. You may have seen, if you've been out there, that some parking lots are being developed. One will be on Seminole and Norton Hills Road, approximately, and the other one will be at Lincoln and Southwood. There is a pedestrian entrance currently there at Lincoln and Leaf that we encourage people to enter that way through the park while the lots are under construction. But it's really moving along, and one of the requirements in the grant, which is really interesting, is that when the property closes, you have 90 days to open it. Well, we had a heck of a winter, or spring, if you want to call it that, and it was tough getting the place opened. But we were able to get that pedestrian entrance open, and then later on, as we got, as the year was ticking by, we were like, when are these parking lots going to be here? So they're working earnestly now to get the parking lots completed. The first one completed will be on the Seminole side of it, and that will hold, I think, 39 cars. And people will be able to enter there and park, so they won't be parking on the street and enjoy the property. Phase 2, I went the wrong way there. Phase 2 is an additional 162 acres, and that will open late in 2022. Actually, will probably open in 2023. We'll close on it probably in November or December of this year, and then we'll have the 90 days to open that section. I was just out there yesterday hiking the area in my work clothes, and it was pretty warm. But we hiked to the top of the tallest dunes, supposedly, in Muskegon County. It's a huge dune on the north side of the Nugent property, right near the Idlewild neighborhood. Literally, the Idlewild neighborhood is at the bottom of the dune. And it's just fantastic. You can see Lake Michigan, you can see the other South Lake, you can basically see the whole area there. And as we were up there walking it, you know, it's pretty steep and a bit scary, to be honest with you, walking up there. So we're thinking, how are we gonna bring people safely up here and get them down? So that's one of the things we'll have to work on when we close on the property and have those 90 days to open it. But I would encourage everyone to go out, check out the park, the south side now, because we do not own that north side, and just enjoy it. It's another great amenity for our residents of Muskegon County and for visitors to the county too. If you would like to make donations, there is a fund at the Community Foundation that you can donate to. And we use all of that funding to open the parks and provide the amenities for the park. We are trying to keep it a quiet recreation area, so you won't see loads of development out there. I just want to let everybody know about that. It's going to be a place that people can go with their families and enjoy our community. If there are any questions, Kim and I can tag team on questions, and we'd be happy to answer them. Any questions?
Great job, Bob.
Who said that? Oh, Kevin, my buddy.
What am I, hiding in the glare back here?
Yeah.
Hey, great job. It's a great park. It's great to see. What are you doing about the cormorants?
On Skolnick Island, you mean?
Yeah, Skull Island, Skolnick Island, whatever you call it.
Actually, I reached out to the DNR about that, and I haven't heard back from them yet. It's a slippery slope, that island. Cormorants are protected, and it seems like every cormorant in Muskegon County goes to that island. So there are literally hundreds of them out there, and they're joined by a flock of seagulls, not the band, the seagulls. And, you know, we're still trying to determine a way to deal with the cormorants. Now, see, out at the airport recently, the airport manager told me they had 13 bald eagles there at one time. And bald eagles and planes don't mix. So, you know, they are allowed at the airport to go out there and scare the eagles away. Cormorants on a lake in a recreational area, I really don't know what we can do about it, but it's on our minds, believe me.
Bob, after you obtain the second half of the property, what's the master planning process, and what do you hope to accomplish with that?
Great, thanks for nudging me on that, Dave. The master planning process will happen when we close on the second portion, Phase 2. That will happen November or December of this year. It will be a thorough process that brings in the community and municipal leaders to discuss the property and its direction moving forward. But again, we do want to keep it a quiet recreation area, so there could be some potential development, including campsites or other lodging type of facilities on the sandy area kind of behind the cannon plant there. There will be a large berm that is built there to kind of separate Cannon from the park itself. That will also mute some of the sound that, the noise that comes from Cannon, because it can get pretty noisy back there. But that's yet to be determined. All of this is yet to be determined, and we will be, discussing this and planning the future of the park with the community.
Hey, Bob, I just wanted to ask about Skolnick Island. Will there be a ferry to Skolnick Island? So that's number one. And maybe you want to talk about boating on that lake, and can you use motors, or what can you do there?
Thank you, Admiral. There will not be a ferry at this time that we're aware of. But if you'd like to, start up that business, we could potentially look at it. Regarding boating, we have discussed often about kayaking there, and from what I understand, one of the staff members at the CVB was out there last weekend, and there were kayaks in the water. So the idea is when the parking lots are completed, there could be kayak racks close to the water so that people would be able to kayak, and then if they want to store their kayak for a couple hours while they hike the area or recreate in the area, perhaps go swimming out on Lake Michigan, the kayak will be there at the rack. We haven't really discussed more than that, like a concession for kayaking or anything, but I'm sure that will come up in the master planning process.
Bob, just a clarification. Once all the acquisitions are complete, north-south lakes and such, does that location, that property then become part of the county park system?
Yes. Yes, it does.
And Bob, quick question. Do you foresee a role for any of our Rotary Interact clubs in the future as far as conservation partnerships with the county there?
Thank you for mentioning that, John. Yes, we are very interested in having the Rotaract clubs and other youth groups, provide some of the services that we'll need out there, including tree planting, dune grass planting, stabilization of dunes, that sort of thing. With the increased traffic out there, there's always the danger of erosion, and it's a very, very sandy area. It was a sand mine. So we will be doing a lot of, it'll take a while, but we plan on doing restoration work out there. Perennials, dune grasses, trees. I know you and I have talked about the tree farm that Rotaract basically has, with hundreds of trees native to this area that we hope to plant, not only there, but at some of our other county parks too.
Yes, Bob, the county's been advertising the dedication on the 19th. Could you give us some details so more of us can
Yes.
participate? Time, date, place, where
Would
to
you like
park?
to speak about that?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. If you are going to attend, please be sure to register so that we know to get you some food. You can go to naturenearby.org, which is the Land Conservancy of West Michigan's website, and look for events, and you can register there. And please do register. And if you want to get further involved with the Land Conservancy, there's a lot of information on our website, and I'll leave some brochures for anyone who's interested, too.
All right, just have one more question. I've been out there hiking on the south property. Are there any plans to grade the trails, or are you going to leave them natural?
Good question. I think for the time being, we'll leave them natural. We've discovered that if we do lay down wood chips in that area along the trails, because of the nature of the trail and the sandiness, if that's a word, of the trail, the chips migrate downwards. So we have to really be considerate about the type of surface that we would use out there. And it is quite a long trail, and it's about the same distance on the North Lake too. So that would be something that would be discussed at the master planning process.
Well, everyone, let's have a round of applause for Kim and Bob. Thank you for presenting today. On behalf of your presentation, our club will make a donation to community economic development, and we're looking forward, if you haven't been out to Dune Harbor Park, get out there and check it out. It's a beautiful property. So once again, Kim and Bob. Okay, birthdays. We have Sandy Gaddy and Arn Bozart. I know Arn's here because he just asked a question. Is Sandy here too? Oh, we're going to sing happy birthday to you, Arn. If you want to, I don't even know, Kathy Betts? Okay, if you have $10 for Caring Connection, you could bring it to Kathy Betts and we'll sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Okay, Member Spotlight. This is a feature that we introduced this Rotary year to highlight our vocational avenue of service, which is one of Rotary's 5 avenues of service. And today we're going to hear from a fellow classmate from the Mona Shores class of 90, Kristen Woods.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Kristen Woods, and I joined Rotary just this past year. I was interested in giving back to the community and also building relationships with others in the community that share that same interest. Yes, I'm the mother of 3 kids. My oldest daughter is at Muskegon Community College and ready to transition over to Central next year. My middle child is attending Calvin University, where he plays on the varsity soccer team. And my youngest is a senior at Mona Shores, where she's also a soccer and basketball player. She's going to join her brother next year at Calvin. I'm also native to Muskegon. I was born and raised there and an alum from Mona Shores High School. And then my husband and I are soon to be empty nesters with all the kids moving on to college, but our house won't remain empty. We foster a husky dog. We have 2 dogs of our own and 2 cats. I'm a family physician by training, and I practiced clinical medicine for 17 years before moving into leadership. Currently, I serve as the president of Mercy Health Physician Partners, which is our medical group, and we extend from Ludington all the way down to the east side of Grand Rapids. We have almost 800 physicians and mid-level providers serving nearly 100 different locations. My responsibilities include operational oversight, management of the financial budget, and also strategic planning. As a new member, I'm still getting my feet wet and learning, where I can participate given my busy family and professional life. But I definitely wanted to jump in and start to look for those opportunities on how I might serve in my limited capacity now, but grow into greater service as I continue forward and my life changes.
Thank you, Kristen. All right, we have an induction now. Melissa Moore, if you'd like to come up with Brandon, and we will induct him into our club. Grab one of the mics, yeah. All right, come on up and step on the mark.
This is my first one.
It's your first one?
All good? All right. Well, my guest today, and soon to be the newest Rotarian, is Brandon Davis. I've known Brandon since 2013 when he first joined Reed Muskegon's Board of Directors. But I will say, over the 9 years almost now that we've been working together, he has also come to be a friend. And I'm really excited to be able to tell you a little bit more about him today because he is honestly one of the most remarkable people I've had the honor to know. So I'm going to read, though, because I will forget. All right. Hey. I don't usually shake. I don't usually read from a paper. So, all right. Brandon was born and raised on the west side of Detroit, Michigan. To be specific, for fellow Detroiters, on Calvert at Dexter. It was a tough neighborhood. In fact, to keep him safe, his mom only allowed him to ride his bike 1 house to the right and 1 house to the left. Although his physical surroundings weren't great, his mother made sure that he was surrounded by love, and she taught him that if he worked hard and served others, he would make an impact on his community to help change lives. Those same principles continue to guide his life today. Brandon began his college career at Central Michigan at 17 years old and completed... Gotta leave time for that. He completed his degree in 3 years, while at the same time, he was a teen... Oh my gosh. I don't usually get nervous at stuff like this. At the same time, he was a teen parent and primary caregiver for 2 young daughters. Desi, who is now, oh my gosh, can I stand right there? Can I stand right there? Oh my gosh. Is this one on? Okay. So Brandon began his college career at Central Michigan at 17 and completed his degree in 3 years, while at the same time, he was a single father and primary caregiver for 2 young daughters. Desi, who is now attending Benedict College, which is an HBCU on a full-ride scholarship, and Tamira, who is finishing her junior year at Mona Shores with the goal of attending medical school. To say Brandon is a proud father, I think, is a great understatement. After graduating from CMU, Brandon attended and graduated from Wayne State Law School. One of my favorite stories that Brandon tells is that he was blessed with compassionate professors that allowed his daughters to attend classes with him while he pursued his education. Desi and Tamira often say that since they went to college and law school with Brandon, that they should automatically get their degrees as well. In 2010, Brandon began his career as a lawyer, working for a short time in private practice and then as assistant prosecuting attorney for Wayne County. In 2013, he and his daughters moved to Muskegon County, where he served as senior assistant prosecuting attorney. Brandon has also maintained a private law practice. During his legal career, Brandon has litigated well over 1,000 cases, including as the lead in more than 50 jury trials on topics including homicide, criminal sexual conduct, armed robbery, elder abuse, child abuse, financial crimes, and domestic violence. While he was prosecutor, Brandon led Muskegon County's Social Justice Diversion Program, which uses restorative justice practices to allow low-level offenders the opportunity to avoid criminal prosecution by obtaining their education or performing community service. This is a direct reflection of Brandon's passion for seeking ways to empower community members to grow as a result of the interaction that they have with the criminal justice system. And I will say this is a place where he has had an amazing impact on Reed Muskegon and our work with those reentering our communities from the Muskegon County Jail. Brandon is currently the inaugural director of the Office of Oversight and Public Accountability for the City of Grand Rapids. There, he works to reform public safety systems to ensure that equity is embedded in every policy and every process, creating a systemic approach to increasing transparency, accountability, and fairness in all matters of public safety. His holistic approach to his role has led to creative projects like the implementation of Cure Violence, a health-based approach to violence reduction in partnership with the West Michigan Urban League and members of the community. Brandon is also currently a candidate for the 14th Circuit Court. Outside of work, Brandon is actively engaged in the Muskegon community. As I said, he's been a board member of Reed Muskegon since 2013. Sadly, he will term off our board at the end of this year, but I'm keeping him around. He has been instrumental in the organization's growth, especially when he led our organization as the board chair through the pandemic. He's a founding board member of the Muskegon Young Black Professionals and a member of the Muskegon Civic Theater Board, where he's part of their DEI committee. He's a volunteer with Men of Color Reed, an ordained elder at the Church of the Living God, and the founder of the Victory and Praise Community Choir. He's also a talented actor. Some of you may remember him in the lead role in Raisin in the Sun at Muskegon Civic Theater. I'm excited for Brandon to bring his diverse talents and passions to the Muskegon Rotary Club as its newest member. And I think this part is probably why I was really nervous, because I want to add, without crying, that I think it's fitting that Brandon is being inducted today as we remember Orville. And I didn't even really know Orville that well. I mean, I knew him through this. But as Brandon shared at Rotary orientation last week, when John Noling asked him why he wanted to join, he shared that Orville attended. Let me just take a deep breath here. Orville attended a meeting of the Muskegon Young Black Professionals several years ago. And Brandon was really struck by Orville's honesty about the need to diversify the club and his passion for making sure that that happened. So while I'm the one who's here today introducing Brandon, I really believe it was Orville who first planted the seed. There you go. Woo! I'm so sorry.
hand you this. And she's sitting in the middle of us. Very fitting. Fellow Rotarians and honored guests, the Rotary Club of Muskegon is privileged to induct a new member. We encourage you to learn about Rotary by actively participating in the club, including attending meetings, social events, and service projects. It is my pleasure to give you this pin, as well as other Rotary swag, by which your fellow Rotarians and community will recognize you as a member. We ask that you wear it proudly. I would also like to challenge you to share the gift that has been given to you and invite another person with like qualities of character, reputation, and commitment to join our club within the next 3 months. The honor of becoming a Rotarian is only surpassed by sponsoring new members. Do you accept this challenge? I do. He does. Thank you. Everyone, please rise and welcome the newest Rotarian in the world, Brandon Davis. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Okay, Jenny Sprague has not one but two very special awards.
I also take a little time to remind you of the district match so you too can get a Paul Harris Fellow or give one to a deserving individual. That's my announcement. Paul Harris founded Rotary in 1905 in Chicago with 3 business associates so that professionals of diverse backgrounds could exchange ideas and form lasting friendships. Over time, Rotary's reach and vision extended to humanitarian service. In 1957, Rotary International established the Paul Harris Fellow Award in our founder's honor to express appreciation for a contribution of $1,000 to the humanitarian and educational purposes of the Rotary Foundation. The Paul Harris Fellow Award is one of Rotary's most prestigious honors. Paul Harris once said, "Dreaming is not so bad if one dreams good dreams and makes them come true." Rotarians make dreams a reality through extraordinary projects and activities that enhance international friendships and understanding and save and invigorate people's lives here at home and around the world. Rotary Foundation programs provide educational opportunities, food, potable water, sanitation, health care, immunizations, and shelter for millions of persons. Today, we will honor a deserving individual who will join the worldwide ranks of Paul Harris Fellows. To help with today's presentation, I invite Linda Garzaloni to come forward and tell us about our honoree. I'm supposed to go this way.
We're here. All right. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. Well, I have the distinct honor and pleasure to award Julia with the Paul Harris Award. And I have to say, if anyone knows Julia, she hates this. So I'm going to do her a favor and make it as short as humanly possible. And first of all, Julia, when she came to town as the director of CMH, now Health West, I got to know her, I think, in the first week. Took her out to lunch, and I said, "I'm your new best friend, and we need to collaborate, and plus you're going to really like me." And true story, we did, and we've been colleagues ever since. What I love about Julia and the impact she's had on, I can look around the room, many of you, your organizations and businesses, is that Julia is brilliant, has this big, big mind and this vision. And she's also really, really courageous. Now, courageous doesn't mean that she's not less afraid than you or me. She's just as afraid, but she gets it done. She goes in the face of that, regardless of what the issue is for this community. She applies her intelligence, her striving for excellence,
her passion for this community and for the people that she serves as the Director of Health West. So that same passion, she applies to sports. I won't say which ones, because you don't want to get it wrong. Okay, Hawkeyes, White Sox. Kayaking and family. Her brother John is here, as you met him earlier. So it is my pleasure, my honor, to share this very special award. Even though you hate this, it really is for us that we get to honor you and all you are and all you do for Muskegon and for Rotary. So welcome, Julia Rupp, PA.
Jenny asked me if I wanted to say something. No, I do not. But thank you very much for this honor, and I just want to say thank you to Linda and all my friends and colleagues. And, you know, I love this community, whatever I can do for it. I came to Muskegon about the same time that Bob Lukens did. And Bob and I had some, and we also have Chicago roots. We're both White Sox fans. And we used to have some, conversations on those when we first came to Muskegon about what a wonderful community this is, and what was wrong with some of the born and raised Muskegonites who didn't have that same wonder and awe for this community. And it just gets better every day. So thank you very much.
Don't go far. Today, my fellow Rotarians, we move closer to a more peaceful world as Julia Rupp becomes a Paul Harris Fellow. Julia, you are being recognized today as a Paul Harris Fellow in special appreciation for how your life exemplifies the humanitarian and educational objectives of the Rotary Foundation. You were designated to receive this recognition by the Muskegon Rotary Club, your fellow Rotarians. On behalf of the Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees, you will receive 3 emblems of a Paul Harris Fellow: a certificate, a lapel pin, and a medallion. The certificate states you have been named a Paul Harris Fellow in appreciation of tangible and significant assistance given for the furtherance of better understanding and friendly relations between peoples of the world. We encourage you to wear your pin to all Rotary events to support the Rotary Foundation and its programs that save and invigorate people's lives around the world. Please accept our congratulations and sincere appreciation for your commitment to our shared goals of world understanding and peace. Rotarians and friends, please congratulate and recognize the newest Paul Harris Fellow in the world, Julia Rupp. Congratulations. You may journey back to your seats. Thank you, ladies. Okay, now I've got to get the right paperwork. Just give me a second here. Okay, now we are going to have a presentation for a Paul Harris Plus Award. Hold on if I get the right thing here. I have too much paperwork. Here we go. Sorry. We long recognize Rotarians who contribute to the Rotary Foundation, the arm of Rotary International, which receives and disperses funds that support our cause of increasing world understanding and peace. However, becoming a Paul Harris Fellow is a milestone, not a destination. We ask those who become Paul Harris Fellows to continue supporting the Rotary Foundation. We recognize them as multiple Paul Harris Fellows as they contribute an additional $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. With each additional contribution, a Paul Harris Fellow is presented with a pin with either a sapphire or a ruby indicating their level of contributions. In our club, we have 33 multiple Paul Harris Fellows. Today, we have the privilege of recognizing one of our club members for his continuing support of the Rotary Foundation. To help with today's presentation, I invite John Noling and Randy Lindquist to come forward and tell us about our honoree. going the wrong way again. Supposed to slide there.
Orville Crane presented a Paul Harris Fellowship to this person. I can't remember when. It must have been 5 or 6 years ago. And at the time, I was struck by Orville's vision and his understanding of what service above self meant. And today, thinking of Orville and thinking of Paul Harris, when you have someone in your presence, in your club, who dreams good dreams and then makes them happen, I'm in awe of people like that. I like to hang around with Rotarians like that, and I've had the pleasure to do that for at least 10 years with John Slocum. And could you come up here, John, please? So it's our honor, all of us up here, to honor John with a Paul Harris +1. He already has all of the accoutrements that go with it, but he's retiring, he's moving, he's getting married, and he's leaving a huge gap and a vacuum in our community. I consider him a brother, a friend, and a true Rotarian. He hasn't been to very many lunches because he's been serving others and taking service above self and making it his daily mantra at North Muskegon High School. I'd like to invite Randy Lindquist to just say a word, and then his principal, Ken Byard, and his president of his club, Gabriella Wingard.
Thank you, John. Very honored to bring this to John Slocum today and honor his work and service for the County of Muskegon, North Muskegon schools, and their community as well. When you think about Interact clubs and service and leadership above self, North Muskegon is often looked at as the model for that. And it has a lot to do with the kids and the staff that function there, but more importantly, it has to do with John Slocum. He is a true leader. He has passion for the work, and he wants to show students how important service is to their community, both locally and abroad. So I just want to say congratulations to John, and we thank you for your service above self, as always. Thank you.
I don't want to shift the spotlight from John, but how about the hiring of Randy Lindquist at the ISD superintendent? They got it right. I remember taking the job at North Muskegon 6 years ago, and I had actually worked with John as a football coach. He was a defensive line coach. He's a heck of a defensive line coach. And getting in the building, kind of figuring out the whole thing, and John coming up to me and asking about Interact and this project and that project, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, bro, you got to chill out. I'm just trying to figure it out. But he's like throwing all these projects at us, and like, yeah, you can do this and you can do that, and I'm thinking, there's no way he's going to pull all this off. Well, if you go in his room, you'll see that he pulls literally all of it off. Cans piled up, just stuff all over the place, and it's all for service. And so I think about John and the gap he's going to leave, and it's going to be a big one, but his legacy lives in young people like Miss Wingard. And so the future is bright. We thank John for all that he's done, and he will be missed in the halls of North Muskegon.
Hi. Like I said before, I would like to say a huge thank you to everything that he has done for our club. I remember watching from the outside as a freshman before I was able to join the club, and just being amazed at everything that he was able to accomplish with his club and finally joining my sophomore year and him coming up to me about being a team lead and how that completely changed everything. So through him, I've been able to accomplish so much, and I could not have done it without him, and things have just been amazing, and I'm so sad to see him leave, but I know he'll continue to do amazing things no matter where he goes. So, and I would just like to say a huge thank you. So, yeah.
Okay, John, can I give you, John Noling? Then it gets to you. John Slocum, you are being honored today as a multiple Paul Harris Fellow in special appreciation for your continuing support of the work of the Rotary Foundation and the many ways in which your life exemplifies the humanitarian and educational objectives of the Rotary Foundation. You were designated to receive this recognition by John Noling on behalf of the Muskegon Rotary Club. John, please accept our congratulations and sincere appreciation for your commitment to our shared goals of world understanding and peace. Rotarians and friends, please join me in congratulating and recognizing John Slocum as the newest Paul Harris Fellow +1 in the world. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very brief. It would be brief either way because this is totally a surprise to me, as it was the first time John Noling did this, and he said he considers me a brother, and that's likewise a brother in service, and his energy and motivation to serve others above self has inspired me tremendously. And if I talk anymore, to be honest with you, I'll start bawling. So I just want to say thank you for everything, and continue to serve, and I'll continue to serve, and we'll cross paths. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to take a vote, and we're going to do announcements by vote. I have 3 announcements. Who wants me to make the announcements, and who wants the members to come up? Quick show of hands. Me. Oh, members. Sorry, guys. Sorry, you can make the announcements next week. I know, America. I'm going to do my best America Dobry first for Party in the Park is coming up on June 3rd. So please see America to sign up for your shift. There are sign-ups on the table. Look at this. We're doing this. This is working well. And come out and support the first. That's the opening Party in the Park, right? So kick Party in the Park off right. Okay. This is my best Marjorie Jones on behalf of the Seaway Run Committee. There is a sign-up that's somewhere, and I think it's going to be, you were going to bring it up here. That didn't work out so well now. We kind of messed that up. So Seaway Run Committee sign-ups, we're looking for 100 volunteers, and we're holding steady. There's also table tents on. If you like the table tents and have a place of business where you can display them, take it with you back to your place of business and get the word out about Seaway Run, our largest fundraiser. And Arn Bozart, on Wednesday, May 25th, our club's going to sponsor another food truck. We only have 3 of 15 volunteers in, so if anyone would like to volunteer for the next food truck coming up, please see Arn. He is right there in front. Make his birthday special by signing up for the food truck coming up. And the last announcement I have is there is a bylaws change coming out. So we will vote on that next week, and you will receive it via email over the next week. So please take a look at that and see some minor changes to the bylaws wording coming out. So that is our announcements, or those are our announcements. That brings us to the raffle. Josh Silvis, who cut me off. I couldn't even get in the raffle. I was too late. $20. 615 for. Oh, Rem Sprague. All right. Oh, our intrepid photographer. Are you reporting? All right, I think that's John Rupert. I can't quite see through the beautiful sunny day. Okay, that brings us to the conclusion of our meeting. I want to thank John, Bryce, Amy, John, Whitney, Brent, Gabe, Gabriella, Aubrey, Megan, Kim, Jonathan, Adam. Welcome, Brandon, to the club. Congratulations, Julia and John. Next week's program is going to be a video tribute to Muskegon Manufacturing. You'll want to come and check that out for sure. If everyone could please rise, we'll recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? All right, we're adjourned. Enjoy this beautiful Muskegon day.